Hey Charlie, welcome to the show. I know we're tight on time, so we're just going to kind of go through this and get some information and everything, if that's okay with you. But yeah, so we're going to go back a bit, back to around about 2005, I think it was. You were started posting Hollywood Undead tracks online. MySpace was the choice of many back then. Did you ever think that we're now here, 2017, that you'd be here discussing your fifth studio album?
No, I definitely didn't. When we first posted that, I mean, before we posted those songs, we were in bands for years and failing miserably and only playing to our friends and family. And I never thought that we would be signed or even record an album that someone else pays for. We used to record at this guy's studio, like through a friend of a friend, mom's friend, and he used to charge us to record there. He charged us for toilet paper even. It's like, you guys use too much toilet paper. So the fact that, 12 years later, we're on our fifth record and we're touring the world and doing what we love to do, it's mind-blowing.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, such a tight ass.
Indeed, yeah. So with your first album, it was called Swan Songs, which obviously generally suggests that, you kind of think it's going to be your last effort. What was the thinking behind that?
Yeah, we named the album, our first album, Swan Songs, because we thought it was already over before it began. We thought, even if this does come out, there's no way there's going to be any longevity in the band's career. I mean, just having six guys in the band and the material we were doing, which we thought was so different from anything else, we thought there was no way that we would be around for as long as we've been around now. So yeah, we thought that was our swan song.
Cool. So let's talk about your new album, 5. As well as being your fifth album, does that number hold any other sort of significance with you guys?
Yeah, our new album, 5, usually I think that's a cop-out to name either self-titled. I mean, self-titled albums are a cop-out, or to name it 5 is a cop-out. But the reason why we did it is when we first got signed, we signed to a 5-record deal. So we've always talked about 5. If we ever make it to 5, if we ever have 5 records. So we always talked about our 5th record as 5, and we never thought we'd get there. So the fact that we're there was a goal to ours, and mind-blowing that we made it that far. So it just felt right and natural, since we've already been referring to our 5th record as 5, we should name it 5.
Are there any other numerical references in the Hollywood Undead back catalog that we should go back and check out?
I wish I could come up with some other crazy story about why it's named 5, but there really isn't. For me, I can say it's 5 points on a star or something, but stupid.
So basically, for whatever reason, you guys aren't embraced in a big way here by the media, yet you still manage to pull in huge numbers on tour. You sell a lot of records. Is there anything you can attribute to that, or attribute that to, I should say, or how you think you've managed to retain such a large following over these years?
It's always been mind-blowing to us why we get no press wherever we go. But we're kind of used to that. We're kind of the underdogs, It's we get no press wherever we go, but there's other bands who do a quarter of the numbers we do, and then are on the cover of all these things and all these interviews and on TV and all this and that. But I think, it really doesn't matter. As long as our fans are there and they show up to the shows and there's someone who cares, then, what's the point? And it doesn't matter. Obviously, it's working without that. But if you guys want to interview us, we are available.
So does it bother you seeing with much bands with a smaller fan base sitting on the covers of these magazines?
Yeah. It depends on the band. If it's a band who's getting a lot of notoriety and the spotlight who are shitty, then yeah, I'm gonna be pissed. But if it's an underground band who isn't on the cover and isn't mainstream that I like, then I think it's kind of cool. So maybe it works for us too, and our benefit, that we're not all over the place and we're not pushed in people's faces and forced down your throat. So people find out about us naturally, and they like us, and they feel like they're a part of something that isn't phony.
What do you feel about the kind of right way of going about this? Like you said, you don't want to feel like that you're being phony. What kind of what can you attribute to that? What is your style when it comes to your kind of self promotion?
It's amazing to me that we've retained this amount of followers and our fans that have stuck with us forever. I don't know. I think it's because the respect we give them, like we still try to be as hands-on as possible, like with our socials and stuff. Like if you follow a band, you can tell it's not them posting. We still try to be as hands-on as possible with that kind of thing. We try to also with our show not make it feel like you're going to go see a show and you go and watch the band and they don't give a shit and then they leave. Like we try to really make it like a party and like you're a part of something. Like I know it's hard for people to go to a show and spend all this money and get babysitters for their shitty kids, and make a whole night of it, and then go and see a band who doesn't give a shit. We try to make it so they get their money's worth, and they're a part of a fun thing, and it's just a good time.
So within your music, you do have a mix of many different styles. Do you find that means that you don't fit anywhere in particular, or are welcomed everywhere, or is that kind of like that kind of in between area where people aren't quite sure, they're like half your style but not the other half?
Yeah, I think that helps too, is the different styles. So if someone doesn't like the party songs we do, then there's an emo guy who loves the depressing songs we do, and there's a person who hates the depressing stuff, and there's a fun song here for them. So I think that helps a lot, and I think we're very fortunate that we are able to mix those genres without coming off too cheesy or all over the place, because I think that's very important, that we can switch genres and push the limits and try different things and give something for anyone.
I mean, if you had to, how would you compare Hollywood Undead? Because of the mix of styles, what is there any like bands you would attribute yourselves to or anything like that, or is it something you try and steer away from?
I think that well, the main thing is, I mean, everyone tries to put their finger on something, and the only way to do that is to compare it to something else. But I mean, no one just says, "Oh, it's something new, it's something different completely." They want to say, "Oh, it sounds like Linkin Park, it sounds like the Beastie Boys, it sounds like Kelly Clarkson, or whatever it is." I think that if it's something different, something new, like there should be no rules in art and music and whatever it is. If it's good and you like it, then you should like it, and if you don't like it, then you don't like it.
Cool. So, what's the most out of place you've ever felt while doing this? Are there any festivals you thought, you're there and like, why are we here? Why are we playing this festival?
We've definitely played festivals where I've thought the lineup, we're definitely sticking out like a sore thumb. I mean, we played Hellfest in France, which is all hardcore metal bands, like insane, and then we're on the lineup. I mean, and we play a lot with a lot of metal bands. For some reason, we're in there. I think because we have a lot of similar fans to metal bands, but also if we're on that kind of lineup, like Hellfest, for instance, I think it's kind of cool because we're the one band that isn't metal. It's kind of a break from metal, and we do have songs that definitely touch on that, and that a metal guy can still mosh to. I mean, people even mosh to like our party like hip hop songs. So, yeah.
Cool. So is there any festivals where you've kind of felt at home?
I don't think we're at home with any festival. I think we need to start our own festival. I mean, one is Download. I think that they're pretty eclectic, right? With their lineups usually. Is Download. Pink Pop is another one that we've played before that I think had a pretty mixed style-wise lineup. So, yeah. Cool.
So let's talk about your latest single, California Dreamin'. It dissects both the kind of glitz and glamour as well as the dark, haunting side of Californian life. But looking closer, it feels like there's more to it than that, if you don't mind me kind of delving in. I mean, you're called Hollywood Undead. Hollywood is in California. Is this song as much about Hollywood Undead or as the state that you came from, really? Is there any kind of like, looking at that kind of darker side?
California Dream, well, yeah, California Dreamin' it's definitely about the darker side of Hollywood. And I mean, that's kind of where our name came from, Hollywood Undead. We would always call like the people who walk around Hollywood as the Hollywood Undead, like these people who walk around like zombies there, who aren't from there and kind of just seem like lost souls. And that is kind of what California Dreaming's about too. It's about the darker side of Hollywood. Like everyone goes there and thinks that it's going to be like their dreams are going to come true, but the facts are it's like 0.0001% of those people, I mean, accomplish anything worthwhile. So it's about that. I mean, it's an ongoing theme, but it's just so real to us growing up there and seeing all that. That, I mean, it's just natural for us to talk about our surroundings and just that whole scene going on out there.
Well, cool. Thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate it. Is there anything left that you want to say? You want to talk about maybe new album that's coming out or anything? You got a tour or anything coming up? Now's the time to kind of get it out there. And yeah, thanks, man.
So our album's coming out October 27th that we're super excited for. We think it's our best record yet. We've said that before and we were bullshitting for sure. We were definitely lying. This one I think really is our best record yet. That comes out October 27th, and then we'll be in Europe and the UK and Russia in the spring of 2018. So you can always go and find out information on HollywoodUndead.com. We got all that stuff up there.
Excellent. Thank you very much again, and I totally appreciate your time. I know it's kind of a quick fire interview, but yeah, you have yourself a good day, and yeah, good luck with the single and the album, man. Thank you.
Thank you.